Welcome, and thank you for your interest in our paper, Cody, an AI-based system to semi-automate coding for qualitative research. My name is Tim Rietz from the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology, and together with my co-author Alexander Maedche, our research focuses on building human AI teams to enable the data collection and data analysis from wide audiences. And this also inspired this particular research, as we did another project where we automatically conducted interviews with about 250 participants and ended up with a data set that was too large for us to manually analyze. So we looked into the qualitative coding environment, particularly into current research and available commercial tools, and found that there are three primary problems. Qualitative coding is time-consuming and error-prone due to the amount of intensive focused work that's involved. It can be a painstaking, repetitive process, especially with large data sets, which can force a trade-off between data size and data depth in the studies that we do. The prevalent techniques that are presented to tackle these problems is natural language processing, commonly in the form of ex post defined code rules, which shows promise but has yet to be evaluated with end users, so qualitative researchers. And on the other hand, we have semi-supervised, supervised, or unsupervised machine learning, which commonly faces issues with regards to the integration into coding processes and the trust in the provided suggestions. And to learn more about these issues and how we can fix them, we asked two research questions. Firstly, how do qualitative researchers interact with and would they trust an interactive machine learning system supporting coding? And secondly, how does our system compare to the established qualitative data analysis system MAXQDA? Our system Cody has three primary features. Firstly, it allows the end user to define a code rule in a search query style, as well as providing initial rule suggestions. Secondly, it uses the available coded data to make supervised ML-based code suggestions. And thirdly, it uses counterfactual explanations to help the user understand why a specific suggestion was made. Here's a quick example that showcases the first feature, code rules. The user can make any annotation, create a new label, for example integrity, and is provided with an exemplary code rule. At any point, the user can go back, for example, and adjust the code rule if there's new information, and changes will then be reflected in a change to the suggestions provided by the system. In our study, we present the evaluation of our system in two settings. Firstly, we started with 2 rounds of formative evaluations, where we collected information to improve our artifact with 2 rounds of 3 participants. And therefore, we applied a contextual inquiry, including the think aloud method and semi-structured interviews. And after we finished the development of our prototype, we started with a summative evaluation to investigate the artifact's impacts. We invited 11 participants to code publicly available datasets in 2 treatments. One was Cody versus MAXQDA. And after they finished coding, we conducted individual semi-structured interviews and analyzed the log data if available. The findings that we had include, regarding the impact of automated suggestions on coding, that the code rules provided structure and transparency for participants, and that while checking suggestions for quality is an extra step in the coding process, it was perceived as beneficial to better understand the dataset by participants. Further implications for designing AI-based coding support include that explanations are desired but rarely used in practice, and that suggestions should be provided at an appropriate level of detail to not tempt participants to just accept suggestions. Also, our results have implications for our future work and for future work in general. Firstly, we saw that the combination of rules and machine learning can help to increase coding quality. However, these findings are limited by the specific setting of our evaluation. And therefore, we are excited about evaluating such an interactive machine learning system in the field settings where researchers actually use this data for their own work or to publish a study. And secondly, we saw that Cody improved the intercoder reliability, however, without relevant speed gains. In this particular setting where we focused on individual coding, however, coding usually is a collaborative activity, and thus we are excited to investigate collaborative settings as well. And with that, I thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to answering your questions.